Can I just say one thing firstly? I love the name Eat Sleep Boxing Repeat.
Welcome back to ESBR Boxing in partnership with sharpbetting.co.uk. Please click the link in the description to find out more. Get your betting tips and analysis from there. Please click the link in the description. Thomas, good to be joined by you as always. This is the final prediction video for the fight happening on the undercard between Jaron Ennis and Mattice Stanionis this Saturday in Atlantic City. Raymond Fords and Thomas Mattice at super featherweight. Good undercard fight, something to kind of keep people on this side of the pond awake as we wait for the big main event. We'll get right into it as always, Thomas. You kind of know the drill by now. Give us your final prediction for this fight, please.
Yeah, I'm going with Ray Ford by decision. And I would say the reason I'm going decision is Matisse seems to be quite a big guy for 130, just going back and looking at some of his fights. He's got the height advantage by a couple of inches, got like a 4 inch reach advantage. So I think he could potentially pose a physical challenge for Ray Ford, who's moving up in weight from 126. So there's that, and also the fact that Matisse, he has 4 losses and he hasn't been stopped in any of them. So I think all of that um, helps him, make it the distance. But I don't think that he's going to win. Of course, I think. Well, we just know, just based off of his record, pretty much any time he's stepped up in opposition, he's lost. Um, didn't give a bad account of himself against Cruz back in
Mhm.
2020, Isaac Cruz, but still lost that fight. Um, Lost his last fight. So yeah, I it would be hard for me to imagine this going any other way than a Ray Ford win, but I see it going the distance.
Yeah, for sure. Like Matisse has shown kind of he's a good fighter in the past. I think one thing I would say in terms of kind of a win against an opponent with a good record, that's not happened for 2 years. And at the age of 34, you kind of maybe question what's left. And I don't know about you, Thomas. Maybe we'll kind of go into this a little bit. I am high on Ray Ford. I think he's fantastic. I think he maybe stuck around at featherweight maybe a little bit too long and still had a very close fight against Nick Ball last year. But I think he's a fantastic fighter, and I think he's one of the best fighters that America has to offer, and still only 26 years old. Um, I'll, I'm gonna I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna say Ford will win on by decision, but I think he will drop Matisse on the way there. And will possibly become the closest man to stop Thomas Matisse. And we'll see. But I'm looking forward to it. Only Ray Ford's second fight at super featherweight, and it's a decent test for him. Thomas, is Ray Ford going to be world champion again? He's in a tough weight division. Lamont Roach, who's just had a draw with Gervonta Davis. We don't know what his next steps are going to be. But he's still the WBA champion. O'Shaquie Foster, of course, the WBC champion. Don't know if I'm interested to see what his next steps are. He looks like he kind of struggles to make that weight now. And then Emmanuel Navarrete, of course, the WBO champion. Will Ray Ford be world champion again, in your opinion?
I think it's very likely, especially with that IBF title being vacant now. I think he's would probably be in a good position to snatch that one.
Yeah.
Um, Also, I would I would definitely favor him against Navarrete.
Okay.
Um, as we all know, Navarrete is a bit rough around the edges.
Mhm.
Uh, so I wouldn't. It would be hard for me to not favor him against Navarrete. Um, O'Shaquie Foster and Lamont Roach are definitely tougher fights, and I'm not as sure if he would beat those guys. But I think he has two uh two more more likely routes to the title in the IBF and the WBO that Navarrete has. So yeah, I can definitely see him winning a world title at some point in the near future.
Yeah, for sure. I think I think so. I think so. And like I think he's one of these guys who will genuinely fight anyone. And I hope he's kind of let off the leash. And I also think he's in a weight division where I don't think there are many easy touches. Um a fight, yeah, I think for me kind of a fantastic fight would be the Oshaki Foster fight. I think that's the one. That's the fight that really appeals to me. But whether that happens or not, yeah, we'll have to we'll have to see. But I think it is really exciting. Final question from me, Thomas. Will Ray Ford, now it's April 2025. Will we see him fight for a world title in the next 12 months, do you think? If he is victorious, obviously, against Thomas Mattice. Still 26 years old, still a young guy. Do you think the aim for him is going to be to fight for a world title in the next few months? Or do you think, like, I don't think he needs like a kind of a rebuilding um process. I don't think he needs to spend too much time getting used to the weight or anything like that. How quickly do you think we can see him fight for a world title?
I think within the next year is pretty likely. I think it really just depends on how active he is
Mm,
and also how he looks against Matisse. I don't really know if just winning fights is going to get people, excited to see him challenge for a world title. I think he's got to look good. And if he does look good, especially like if he gets Matisse out of there who hasn't been stopped,
mm,
um, I think people are going to want to see him in those big fights even more.
yeah.
So if he does look good against, say the Matisse fight goes the distance and then he fights again later on this year and then he gets a stoppage or looks really good in that, um, it would be hard for me to imagine him not getting involved in that title picture.
Yeah, yeah, fantastic. All right, we'll leave it there. I'm really excited about this one, Thomas. I'm big on Ray Ford, and um that I don't want to kind of go over the top and assume he's going to win this fight, but I think he will. I know you do as well, and we will see what's left for him in 2025. Thomas, good to be joined by you as always. I will speak to you again very soon. Thank you very much.
Likewise, thank you.